So this video is finishing up where part 1 left off. We'll be talking about the panels and the guests and a couple little extra things we kind of left out of the first video, but this will be wrapping up my Mission Chicago coverage, so enjoy.
It's morphin' time! So let's talk about the show itself. I went with my wonderful mother and also my awesome father, and my mom is here to talk about the show, so that way we have a little bit more than just me staring into the camera going, that was good. But yeah, let's just kind of discuss it a little bit. We've already kind of gone over some of the stuff in the other parts of the video, but just in general, what were your thoughts on the convention and how the experience was?
Okay, sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
All right. So first things first, I found the layout to be wonderful. Everything was really spread out on the show floor, which kind of made it a lot easier to navigate. Even if like the autograph sections were really far away, it means the lines for autographs weren't caving into like the dealer room part of it.
Yes, it was very nice because I could see everybody too. I've been to shows where they're parked behind a curtain and you cannot see them unless you've paid exorbitant price to see them and get their autograph. These were very generous. You could walk right up to them and say hello without getting an autograph. And I really appreciate that about this show. And it was so well organized.
It definitely was. Like, everything was well marked. It was easy to find things. We never really lost at any point.
No, we never.
I think the most lost we got was when we realized the Discovery cast had their own little section.
Oh, yes. We were looking for Sonequa.
Yeah.
Sonequa Martin Green. And we were, so where is she? We've got an autograph. And they said, oh, she's over there. And that was really nicely done to putting them together. So. Yeah,
because there was like 8 people from Discovery, I think.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was a huge section. So, yeah, with that being said, let's discuss the panels that we went to, because I think we only went to a few of them just because there was, there's only so much time. But they had the main stage panels spread, like, spaced out 45 minutes between, which kind of gave a good breathing room for stuff. But the first one we went to was Wheaton's panel on Friday.
Oh, my gosh, that young man. Well, he's young to me, but not to you. He says he's turning 50 soon, and he still looks like the young man that he is. He had a wonderful panel. I mean, he was funny. He wore his mask the whole time because he said to us at his when we went to speak to him that he loves wearing the mask because he feels like he could just go anywhere and nobody recognizes him. But he also does it for safety reasons. Appreciated that because we wore our masks the entire time.
Yeah, like 99% of the time.
Except when we went to have a picture made or something.
Yeah, some pictures, and then when we ate. There was that was like the only times we were mostly masked. But talking to Will Wheaton later at his booth was an experience because I was kind of telling him about my YouTube channel here and the different toys reviews and retrospectives.
Oh, he went gaga for you when he found out he was a toy collector. He went crazy. I thought that was wonderful. He's the celebrity, but he kind of made me feel like, sorry, sound out. Can you edit that out?
Yeah, totally.
I don't know. Anyway, Soundout, he made him feel like the celebrity. You're a toy guy? Oh my gosh, I love YouTube toy people. And then he mentioned some people on there, and then he says, I am definitely going to be on your channel watching your videos. And I was like, that is marvelous. He was very warm, generous, outgoing, just was so excited. He's like any guy you could talk to, anyone. So
it was funny because we were talking about his reaction figure, which is sitting back here, needing a video at some point.
Yes.
So that's going to happen. That's going to happen. We were talking about some of the Star Trek figures, and that was fun.
You were back and forth talking about stuff, and you were just snapping off the answers, and he was going. He was just very, very nice and very personable person. And whenever you watch him in the ready room, that is who he really is.
Oh, yeah. He's just that full nerd energy.
He's a real fan of Star Trek. And that's what I found about a lot of the guests. They are all fans previously to Star Trek and very excited to be in the shows, which I find refreshing. You don't see that in a lot of franchises. They don't go, oh yeah, I watched Star Wars all my life, and now I'm in a Star Wars movie. Yeah, no, they don't. Most of these people, I watched Star Trek as a kid. I grew up with Next Generation, or I grew up with Voyager, whatever it was. It was really nice to hear that they were excited to be part of this.
Oh yeah. I think that was it for panels on Friday. I think we didn't go to any others.
Saturday, that's the big day.
Oh, right, because on Friday we were meeting George Takei.
Well, meeting George Takei was my, what do you call it, a bucket list. But I really wanted to meet him. I've met every one of the original Star Trek crew members over my lifetime, since the 60s, because that's where I started. And I said to him, you were the final autograph that I needed and the final time to say hi to someone. So I've been able to meet the people from the original series, and I appreciated seeing Mr. Takei. So here's our
photo op, which was done at 4-foot distance at George Takei's request, and that was fine because I have the power of Photoshop, which you might see working its way into the video right here. But we had to wait about an hour for his photo op. It took a while. It was
worth it. It's the only photo op I've ever done it too. Because I usually just I don't always get autographs because I just want to talk to people. I always go up and say hello. They're always very kind about that. But this one was special. This one completed something for me.
So I think moving forward on the panels, because we're just going to structure this panel-wise, Saturday kicked off with Lower Decks.
Oh, Lower Decks.
Was that the greatest panel ever?
That had to be one of the highlights because they came out in uniforms. Now they're animated.
Full costume. Full uniforms.
They gave them that. You may have seen this on the internet.
It spread around Twitter. Like I feel like we're not many of us that are telling you now. People watching probably already know this, but they came out in full costume.
Yes.
Jack Quaid had a crazy purple wig on.
That's great.
They were just firing on all cylinders.
They ran out. They were
panel.
So excited. You could see how their excitement and the excitement spread to us as well. They showed us a clip and things that we're not allowed to show here yet, but it'll be out soon. It was a really, really wonderful way to see these voice actors. Voice acting is really difficult. It's not like being on camera where you can go, hey, how are you? And you do this stuff and you can use your face and stuff. They have to do it strictly with their voice and make it sound exciting. And wow! And we were really excited to meet. We met them. Who did we have? Tawny Newsome.
Met Tawny Newsome, who plays Mariner.
Yes. Oh,
she was great.
She's like Mariner in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah.
Very, very outgoing.
Noelle Wells, who plays Tendi.
Yep. We went to her and we just said hi to her too. And then we met
Jack Quaid the next day.
Yeah, he plays Boimler, and he is Boimler. He said, "Oh no, come up and say hello." And we get a whole, moment with him. He didn't rush us through. Nobody ever rushed us, by the way. We were able to speak, tell our story, why we're here, how excited we were to meet people. They were very nice. Nobody.
Yeah, there was no pushy handlers at this.
No handlers saying, "Move along, move it along." We were able to talk to him. He was excited about his uniform, and he had gotten a plate. The Tom Paris plate on stage, but they ended up giving it away to someone as a prize because they had a tie in some kind.
They also were tossing Geordie LaForge bears into the audience.
Yes, and my husband told him that there's a VIP section, first 5 rows. We weren't in the VIP section, but the first 5 rows, the bears were hitting them instead. But my husband was able to tell Jack that his bear actually went over the VIP and got into the back area, and he was very happy to hear that. But he gave away his plate, but somebody gave him another one. So
there's a picture of him in his Boimler costume holding the plate, and that's totally a thing that he's got now.
He was very excited about it.
And we also ran into Jerry O'Connell just in passing, because he wasn't on the guest list. He was just there for the panel.
Yeah, he was there for the panel. He came by. He looked like somebody was trying to tell him where to go, and my husband said something to him. What did he say?
I don't remember what he said. He said something.
There you are.
Oh, there he is.
There you are, he says. Or there he is. And he hit him. He just laughed and tapped my husband on the arm real nice and went on his way. Very nice. I hope someday they'll want to do autographs because.
Yeah, I think he was in and out because he probably came because Rebecca Romaine came for the Strange New Worlds panel, so they always come together.
So that was kind of nice.
That was nice. So then going forward, Discovery had their panel.
Oh, yes.
Discovery's panel was like the most heartfelt panel.
Yes.
It was a heavy emotional one in a lot of ways.
It definitely was. David Ajala was there, Ian Alexander, and...
had Anthony Rapp.
Yes.
And Mary Chiffo, and who else was there?
I think the producer.
There was... No, they didn't have a producer there. Ken Mitchell was there.
That's right. Ken Mitchell, who has ALS. He was very funny. He has a device now to help him speak. And he's in a wheelchair. And he has, but he has still got hope. He's still very hopeful. And he's also funny. He had some
he was hilarious.
Really funny remarks. And we appreciated that. And it was but David Ajala heard a story from a young man who said he had lost a friend to cancer or something. And they had watched Discovery this season, and if you've watched it, you'll know that there's some very emotional stuff about losing people in that. And David Ajala was so touched by that, he jumped off the stage, ran down the aisle. I think there's a picture on the
I'll try to find a picture
somewhere.
of it, yeah.
And he hugged the man, and they both cried together. And I thought that was very touching and showed what, how human all these beautiful people are. They're really just people doing a job, and it happens to be a job that entertains all of us. And we put them on a certain level, but really they're just people. That's why I never have trouble just going up and talking to people that work on these things.
Speaking of talking to people, Doug Jones, who was also at the panel.
Oh my gosh.
Doug Jones is the friendliest, warmest person ever.
He gave us a hug. I didn't even ask for a hug. I never asked for hugs or touching or anything. He had to go to a photo shoot, and we had to stand there. And we were waiting and waiting and waiting.
Because we were getting his autograph. We were kind of going for a captain's theme.
Yes.
So we got his.
So we stood there for a while, no problem. And he came back out, and he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry to keep you waiting." And we said, "No, that's fine." And we start talking to him and telling him that we've enjoyed all of his performances, especially Abe Sapien from Hellboy.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite.
He was just very friendly. He noticed my earrings, and by the way, I had 3 sets of these earrings, the 2 different designs that my husband made for me out of little Hallmark ornaments. And I was so excited that he noticed my earrings, because he was wearing some great bling himself.
He had a pin.
He had a Saru pin all decked out and everything.
Matching ensemble. Like his costume, his nice costume, his just outfit is just so well done.
And then at the end, he just gave us hugs. We weren't asking for that, but I loved it. It was lovely of him. Mm-hmm. So I think of all the people, he was one of the warmest I've met.
Ian Alexander was very warm too.
Yes.
When we got to talk to them, they were just outpouring.
I said to Ian that
respect.
I've learned a lot about the
transgender community.
Yes. From watching Discovery, listening to their interviews, and you telling me stuff, I've learned a lot. And I remember Ian has this gesture where they always do this, and I think that's wonderful because it shows that it's a heartfelt. Because I'm sure they've had some rough times, and to get this kind of Star Trek is an inclusive community.
Absolutely.
And to get that kind of positivity, I think was really nice to hear from.
We also got to meet Sonequa Martin Green on Friday, because she was only signing Friday, because she had a scheduling thing.
Yeah, I really don't know what it was. She couldn't be on the panel. But she was wonderful. I told her, I said, I believe that she's going to be very, very, very famous actress. But I think I told her, I said, she's going to go far. She has that ability to express emotions, and she's funny, and she was very warm and lovely. She looked beautiful, by the way. Mm-hmm. And she shook my hand. That was lovely.
She gave me a fist bump for running a YouTube channel. So
yeah, we were handing my Soundouts cards out.
There was a lot of card handing out.
Yes, and it looks like your logo that you have with you.
Yeah, Ryan did up the design for it.
Beautiful.
It's got like my animated self on it. And it's
beautiful.
It's great.
She was extremely lovely to talk to, and
the Discovery cast was really welcoming. They were just
that was another captain signature that we got.
Yeah.
As I was editing this video, I realized we forgot to mention that we actually went up and talked to Anthony Rapp and Mary Chiffio. Anthony was really sweet. It was nice to meet him. We were talking about not just Star Trek Discovery, but he was in Adventures in Babysitting, and he was in Rent, and he's been in a lot of things. And it was nice to talk about his career, and he was just really awesome to meet. And then we also got to talk to Mary Chiffio as well, who was just really cool. She's very happy to be in Star Trek, especially in the Klingon world. We talked about her song she did for Star Trek Online, which was entirely in Klingon. It's fantastic. I'll leave a link to it in the description. And yeah, it was nice to talk to her, and also, and say, hey, hopefully they'll bring you back into some more of the shows. So that kind of stuff. But I wanted to bring those up because we did talk to them, and I did want to mention how lovely they were to meet.
So let's see. We had Strange New Worlds.
Oh,
that was exciting.
That was because
it's an upcoming show. It's not even a current.
And they showed us a bridge clip, and it was really neat to see the Enterprise in a little more updated form, but not too far off what they should be. We also saw the man that's playing Mr. Spock.
Ethan Peck.
And
Rebecca Romaine, who's playing number 1, was there.
Yes.
Celia Rose Gooding, who's Uhura.
Oh, she's very excited to be Uhura. She knows it's a big responsibility to play a legacy character like that, and I think she's going to do a great job.
Then we also had Anson Mount, of course, who plays Pike.
Oh, Anson Mount was lovely. I wanted to meet Anson Mount because I said we need to get his signature. We don't know how many times we'll get a chance to go to convention for this actor, this new captain. And the day we met him,
we got a lovely the picture with the three of them from the end of Discovery.
And we said to I said to him, Thank you for being our newest captain. Welcome to the community. He said, thank you so much. And then I told him, I said, I think Jeffrey Hunter, who played Christopher Pike in the original pilot episode of Star Trek, would be very proud of you. And he said, I hope so. He said, thank you very much. He was very nice to meet. And
Definitely.
I really wanted to see him up close because actually, most of the people that I've seen are all older people now. This is now a young cast that you get to meet. And so that'll be good for you because you're going to watch it.
And they definitely came because they're filming season 2. They came straight from filming because Ethan Peck's sideburns were all Spock cut and Anson Mount's hair was all perfect. Everything.
Yeah.
It was.
He did wear a mask at the signing, though, and I think that's to protect them for future.
And definitely because he's going back to filming them.
Yes.
Or should be filming
And he
now,
was probably tired. He was a little tired because he wasn't quite as outgoing as he'd been the day before. But it was okay because we understood that and appreciated meeting him.
So then the next panel we went to was the following day, the Prodigy panel.
Oh, Prodigy.
The Prodigy panel was fun. They had 2 of the creators on the show, plus Kate Mulgrew, who was there. And then we had the costumed character of Dal that was running around.
Oh, what a great cosplay costume. We posed with them.
We got pictures with them. It was great because it was like, oh, hey, here's one of your characters from the show on stage. Yes. They did this great thing, too, where they had, they're taking questions from the audience, but they said, hey, we should have all the kids come up first.
Oh, they had a kid come up.
Yeah, they had a kid come up, and then they thought, oh, let's get all the kids.
A little girl named Beatrice really impressed Kate Mulgrew. She was excited to hear, what do you think of it? Of course, they all picked their favorite character as Murph because he's very funny.
Murph. He's
very
cute
funny.
Little slime ball.
He's so funny. We just love Murph. But Kate Mulgrew really wanted this show to be an introduction to kids so that they will start loving Star Trek. Because you got a late start in loving Star Trek.
It was like college, basically, I started.
You said, I like Star Trek. I'd like to start watching Star Trek with you. And
prior to just watching it all, I was just more into like the Borg side of things only.
Well, the nice part was you said, well, I didn't push it. I mean, it's been my thing since... Well, I was young, and I wanted to share it with him, but I didn't push it. And one day he says to me, Mom, I'd like to start watching Star Trek. And I was like, yes. All those years watching Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and everything you love finally has paid off, right? So I said to him, we want to definitely meet Kate Mulgrew, and she was beautiful.
We had to wait in line for an hour for her autograph, but...
Yep, I think we missed the George Takei.
We missed the George Takei panel because of her signing just taking a while. But she was great.
Was wonderful. And my husband had these little cards that came from a card set.
Yeah, those are the trading cards back when Voyager aired.
So she had these little cards, and she signed the other cards for us. Because we didn't pay for any extra cards, but
we had paid her autograph was like $100.
Yeah,
it was like the highest. It was the highest priced autograph of the show.
So we paid for it, and then she said, "I'm going to sign these cards anyway." And we didn't ask her to, but she was lovely about it. She says, "Let me sign these," because we gave my husband gave her a set, and that was nice of him to do that. And then she said, with our second set, "I'm just going to sign these." So very nice person to meet. She's very excited to be keeping the Star Trek legacy going. And
absolutely.
I think that was great. And so we had told her that we are watching the original series. We've watched Next Generation. We're into what episode?
Deep Space Nine, Season 6, and Voyager Season 5.
Yes.
So we're still making our way through everything.
We hadn't finished Voyager, but she was happy to hear that you loved the show and that you're enjoying it very much.
Mm-hmm. Plus they showed us a clip, which we're not going to talk about. But...
of Prodigy.
If you're a Voyager fan, you're going to love it.
Oh, yes. And if you're wondering about Chakotay, this will give you a little more...
I think that feels like that might be a scene from the next episode.
Could be, yes. That's usually what it is. Like. But it was fun.
It was fun.
It was just great to see her, and she was making jokes with Dahl.
Oh, yeah. She was playing off Dahl so much.
She's saying he still needs a ways to go to be a captain.
It was really great stuff. The Picard panel was after that.
Yes.
Picard panel was cool because we had Issa Baronis, who plays Soji and Daj and Sutra and Kore and all these other characters. Right. And then we had Evan Evagora, who plays Elnor, and Michelle Hurd, who is Rafi, as well as Annie Wershing, who is the Borg Queen. Now, and they were all lovely.
Oh, wonderful.
Because we got to meet them before the panel.
Yes. We met the Borg Queen first, I believe.
Yeah, we went to her first.
She was wearing a green crown,
yeah.
Little paper green crown. And we told her how she is really, doing a wonderful job. And she said, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was nice to meet her. She's a very nice person. But in the show, she's just creeping us out. And she loves that because she says, good, I'm doing my job correctly. And I said, yes, you are. You're wonderful. So then we met, we met Elnor.
Elnor, yeah, right. We met Evan Evagora.
And no spoilers, but there was a place where he's not in the show, and I said, you'll be back, won't you? Oh, I can't say or deny or something.
They're really good at covering their NDAs. They're really good at it.
If you know what I'm talking about, you'll be back. Hopefully. And then we talked to Issa Briones, and she's a lovely young actor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, she was so sweet to talk to. And then we talked to Michelle Hurd. Now, Michelle Hurd is warm, generous. When she heard about your YouTube channel, thank you. She was very encouraging. She said, oh, keep it up. And we told her how you had worked on films before. One film, particularly a great big one. Creed 2, that was here in our state, and you got to do it. You got to meet Sylvester Stallone, and we showed her the picture. And she says, honey, you can direct me in anything you want anytime. Just let me know. And she was so nice. And she says, keep it up and follow your dream. Mm-hmm. And, we told her that, my husband and I are supporting this dream of his. We've always supported anything he does. But we wanted him to, if this is what he wants, this is what we wanted to support him. And she thought that was great. Very nice person.
Very nice. So then they had a lovely panel too. I don't think there was anything too, they had fun with it. They were talking only season 1, season 2.
Right.
There was someone that came up with like a really complicated, in your imagination, how would these characters interact in season 3? And most of the cast, and all the cast were just like, we're not talking about season 3.
No.
But Annie Wershing said, but I think the Borg Queen would kill them all. And that got the whole crowd was much.
Yeah, that was great.
I think, and then the last panel was Walter Koenig.
Oh, that was the final one of the day, and we met Walter at his table. I already had an autograph from years ago. I'd met him, but I wanted him to meet another legacy actor, and so we walked up and just said hello to him, and he was kind of quiet, but he said thank you very much, and I mentioned I'd seen him many years ago, and then my husband said that one of his favorite lines was from. Oh no, I know what he said. He says, did you ever find the nuclear vessels? And that made Walter Koenig laugh. And then later in his panel, he says, somebody asked him, what's your favorite line from anything? And he says, I think it would be, where are the nuclear vessels? And my husband smiled because he had just mentioned it to him. And so at his panel, he stood for 45 minutes, 85 years old, stood. I'm having trouble standing this long for this video. And he stood for 45 minutes, answered questions. He had a moderator with him that helped him if he forgot something.
Lots of great stories of some of the wild things that happened on sets. And
we were it was really nice to meet him that way.
And he talked very warmly of Babylon 5.
Yes, he loved being in Babylon 5. It was the biggest role he had, because in Star Trek he didn't get really any great lines or roles or anything. And I don't think he was that happy with somebody.
I think he loves the legacy of Star Trek, but as an actor he loved Babylon 5 more.
Yes. Yeah. He loved the legacy of Star Trek better than he does Babylon 5, but he loved the fact that he had better lines and more to do.
So that was the panels. So we did meet some other guests, because we didn't get to go to all the panels.
No.
But let's just run through them in the list they're in the app, because that'll make my life easier.
Yep.
First was Alexander Siddig.
Alexander Siddig was Dr. Bashir in DS9. We got to tell him that we've only gotten up to, what was the episode?
Season 6, the second to last episode of Season 6. And if you know what happens at the finale, like I do, I'm dreading it.
Yes. But anyway,
so we haven't gotten there yet.
He had a question I thought was very pertinent when he heard that you, a young man, was watching his show from the 90s. He said, does it still hold up today to you?
And I said, yes, it absolutely does. The characters and the stories are engaging, and they're interesting, and they're still relevant. and the show keeps itself going really well. And he was really glad to hear that. He was glad to hear that DS9 has held up as well as it has.
He was, and he was very warm and loving to talk to, and I enjoyed it.
We also talked to Anthony Montgomery as well as Dominic Keating, because they had 3 of the Enterprise actors.
Yes.
And Connor Trinneer was there as well.
We haven't watched Enterprise yet. I told him. Who was it we talked to the longest?
Oh, we talked to Anthony Montgomery the longest.
And
yeah.
Well, what was the other actor that?
Dominic Keating.
He was funny.
He was hilarious. He's like, "Oh, you haven't seen our show?" And he goes out for a handshake. He's like, "Hi, I played the captain."
Yeah. We all know Scott Bakula played the captain, but it was funny, and so that was nice to meet them.
It was nice to meet them. Chase Masterson.
Oh, the Dabo girl who married Rom. She was very, very sweet, and she was wearing a yellow dress with some red accents to it, and we talked to her about DS9 and how much we enjoyed her performance there. And she heard about your YouTube channel,
yep.
Sorry. And she said, I want, and you said you might be...
I said because we haven't gotten to the point, because Lita got an action figure,
yes.
But it was late in the line, so we haven't gotten to it in the retrospective yet. But she said to tag her in the retrospective when I get there.
And she gave us her business card for that, so it was very nice about that.
Mm-hmm. Nana Visitor.
Oh, I wanted to meet Nana, and Nana was she and I are about the same age. She was born in July of 57. I was born in October of 57. And I wore a hat. I have a hat that has my name on it, and it says Vintage 1957. And I leaned in and I said, "I hear you're a Vintage 1957. And she laughed. And she says, "Well," and I told her my my month. And she says, "I'm a little older than you," but she looked really, really good. But what she said to me that made me feel good is she says, "Oh, I love your hair." Well, so I have very long hair, and it kind of made me feel good to hear. She said, "I love your beautiful hair." So I said, "I'm just letting it grow. I'm getting older now. What the heck? I'm going to let it grow. I don't care." And we also talked to her about her Women of Star Trek.
Oh yeah, her book and documentary she's working on.
She wants to get the newer ladies in, the newer women.
Yeah, she was saying that she wanted to talk to the women on the current shows, and she hasn't been able to go on set and interview them because of the pandemic, and that's why the book's been delayed, because some people were wondering why the book suddenly got pushed out a year, and that's why.
And we also told her that we haven't gotten to that last
season 6 finale.
Somebody, well, they all know this.
I mean, they may know, they may not know.
But anyway, when a friend of hers dies on it, she said, "I've never watched that episode, and I don't blame you a bit," she said. So the injustice of that particular episode is something.
it's something we don't have enough time to talk about it here. But let's talk about Natalja Nogalich, who was one of the admirals in TNG.
Oh, she was fun. I said, "Hello, Admiral. It's very nice to meet you." I had forgotten one thing about this actor. She has also been she was in
the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation as the lady in the not trench coat.
No, and the beautiful
fur coat.
Wife of
Griswold's boss. Yeah.
Who had given everybody, what was it, Through the Month Club instead of their bonuses. And she says on her autograph.
Yeah, her line was, "Of all the lousy ways to save a buck."
Yes, so
she put that into the autograph
the first
section.
time she wrote it, she misspelled lousy, and she says, "Oh, I'm a Phi Beta Kappa or something. I can't have that." So she immediately got rid of that one, and let me write it again for you.
She also had a 50% off autograph price for veterans.
So that's my husband is a veteran,
yeah.
So he got that.
So we ended up buying 2 from her. So we got another one of her as the Admiral as well.
Yes.
So.
She was
lovely.
Nice to talk to.
Robin Curtis.
Oh yes, from Star Trek.
She was in Star Trek 3 as Saavik, and I think she also appeared on TNG as a guest spot.
She did. And we talked to her, and I liked her. She talked about being in the franchise and loved being in the franchise. So we really appreciated that.
Yeah, and I think that's everybody we talked to. There was a couple other guests. We didn't get to see James Cromwell.
We couldn't find him. He never showed up.
His booth was right next to Kate Mulgrew's, next to a wall, and I think if he ever was there, you'd never see him over the line for Kate Mulgrew.
Oh, and William Shatner was there, but we've seen William Shatner before.
Yeah, we've seen Shatner, so
we didn't need to see him.
He was on the other end. They kept him off to one side, too.
We didn't get to actually talk to David Ajala, but that's okay.
We missed talking to him directly.
We got him on a panel. He seemed like a very nice, warm man, and when he hugged that man in the question line, I was very impressed with him. So, but overall, we had a Really
a great time.
It was great. 3 days. I got this really nice lanyard, which I'm very proud of. I love this. This is the con lanyard.
Yeah, it's like it's Con's
and we had the Kirk
symbol thing. Yeah.
So we had a good time. It was worth our flying to Chicago. I do not like to fly, but it was well worth it.
It was definitely worth it. It was a really good convention overall.
And as Star Trek fans, you know, you're my new Star Trek.
Oh, it was
buddy.
wonderful. Just running, everybody you talked to there was a Star Trek fan.
And they were all nice. Happy.
Oh yeah, I talked to so many people.
And they had some great displays. Oh
yeah, that's another part of the video.
Great.
Which you probably have already seen by this point, because I think this is all going at the end.
All right, so we'll wind it up by saying to everyone, I hope you're all enjoyed this video. And live long and prosper.
Before we close this video out, I wanted to mention a couple things in the haul section I neglected. I didn't mean to, it just happened. We got these CD holders pretty cheap on the last day. This is an Enterprise D CD holder. It's got a stand to it, as you can see there, and it holds a whole whopping 4 CDs. I am tempted to stick older versions of the Next Generation movies in here because it can hold 4. And that would be kind of neat. And then a little bit more practical, the Shuttlecraft Goddard one here, which can open up and it can hold 10. Yeah, that's a huge jump because there's a lot more room in there. So maybe put, I don't know what to put in, but you honestly could put all the Star Trek movies between both of them, which is kind of neat. But anyways, yeah, CD holders, these were from 97, so there you go. I just wanted to include those things that we did pick up that were kind of weird and oddball, and I thought, hey, let's just tag it in here before we wrap up this video. So if you enjoyed this little look at the panels and the guests in this sort of format where we just kind of talk about, you know, meeting people and seeing people, let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear your feedback. Also hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell to keep up with future uploads. There's more Star Trek on the way, including more Star Trek Playmates retrospectives, as well as anything else in between that I feel like we should cover. And there's definitely other stuff on the channel too that's not Star Trek related if you're looking for it. So I hope you enjoy it.
Until next time, this is Soundout saying, live long and prosper.